On Lot 15, just northeast of the Money Pit on Oak Island, archaeologists Laird Niven, Aaron Taylor, and David McGinnis continue their investigation of the 16th century pine tar kiln that, according to their research, may have been used in the construction of the Money Pit treasure vault.
Where's the next line, Jack?
Right through me.
Metal detection expert Gary Drayden, along with Jack Begley, returned to the area with the OKM EXP 6000 in search of any buried objects, voids, or tunnels.
So let's check it out.
Having performed deep scans across the area, Gary and Jack now review their results to see if they may have also found anything of interest below ground.
The green color is just the background. What I'm interested in is those reds and oranges. Red and orange is always ferrous. A lot of iron in this area. And if it's non-ferrous, it's going to be bright red. As we're going along, we're finding a good mix of targets. The one thing for sure, there's a hell of a lot of metal in this area. A lot of iron, but even more important, there's some non-ferrous targets. Well, I'm a treasure hunter. That's probably gold and silver coins.
There's reds and oranges everywhere. Do you see anything that stands out to you that we need to go after on this?
There's a couple of areas over there. Let's continue with the CTX. We'll see if we can find surface finds. I'd like to find that one coin, that one ring. Oh, man, that one Bobby Dazzler that tells us a story.
Let me grab my shovel.
In order to narrow down the possibility that there could be important metal objects near the surface, Gary will now use the CTX 3030 metal detector, the same device he has used over the years to find numerous objects, like the mysterious lead cross at Smith's Cove, which is believed to be some 700 years old.
There's got to be another coin or something around here, Gary.
I know there is, mate. There's something there, mate. You're gonna have to dig it out. Damn, you went all medieval on that one, mate.
Oh, yeah. I'm not wasting time.
Hopefully you've moved it. Oh, I see it.
What do you see?
That's an axe. It's a broken axe.
Oh, it is.
Look at that. The way it comes down.
That's a really old axe, then.
Definitely, and just the weight of it tells me that this is really old. I don't think it's a weapon. In maritimes, you'd call it a ship's rigging axe. You'd use it on the ship for cutting ropes.
What would it be doing right here?
Well, let's say you came onto the beach there and you wanted to come inland. What are you going to use? You're going to use one of these to hack your way into this area.
Like a machete? Or...
Yeah.
Yep.
Because if you think about it, you got those operations up there, you got the beach here.
Could Gary's theory about this so-called ship's rigging axe be correct? Could it be further evidence of human activity connecting the 800-year-old man-made stone-paved area in the swamp to the nearby pine tar kiln, as archaeologist Laird Niven and his associates have suggested?
What's the most recent it could have been used?
I don't know, but it's out here, and it's been here a heck of a long time.
So, probably before the discovery of the Money Pit.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going then. It just sounds so good. So. Come to Papa, where you hiding? I see it.
Oh, no way!
What the heck?
That's an old coin.
That's a little beauty, look at that. That's an old coin, mate.
Oh, yeah.
That is an old coin! That is, I'm sure it is. I mean, you can see some kind of decoration. Anytime there's writing around the outside, mate, it's a dead... No, I don't think we should.
Okay.
No,
this is a top pocket. Fine.
It's got the original patina. It's got The shape, that old shape, it's not perfectly round.
Yeah.
And it's got that square hole in it, mate. Then you can tell it's an old because it's square.
Yeah, I mean, this could be an integral clue in figuring out exactly who used this tar kiln. But we found a lot of coins over the years on Oak Island, and this looks to be probably one of the oldest, based upon the shape and the patina.
What's fascinating about this coin is the shape and the fact that it's got a square hole in the middle. This coin is very, very old, and I don't believe it's European. This coin is from somewhere much more exotic.
You're the coin expert, Gary. Can you date this coin off of just the features?
This is old, mate. My guess is 1700s.
This is great, Gary.
This is bloody brilliant.
I think so. Elbow bump.
That's what I love about metal detecting, the chance to pick up a piece of history. So the guys are on the way?
Yep.
I'm looking forward to this. All right, chaps.
That's impressive.
Don't take a knife to a gunfight.
Rick Lagina, along with Oak Island historian Doug Kroll, metal detection expert Gary Drayton, and surveyor Steve Guptill, arrive at Lot 15, located near the eastern edge of the swamp.
So this is all about the ring bolts, right?
Exactly. Like so many things on Oak Island, you've heard about a 90-foot stone, these ring bolts, and no one's ever seen them for a long time. Well, that ends today, because we are gonna find them.
Okie doke. Let's go find something.
Okay, mate.
While investigating his Oak Island property in 1969, the late Fred Nolan claimed to have discovered several iron ring bolts embedded in boulders near the eastern bank of the swamp. Shortly after, he was stunned to recover numerous pieces of a large sailing vessel, including the scuppers and part of a mast within the swamp itself. These finds convinced Fred that the ring bolts may have been used to dock a treasure galleon, and that the swamp was artificially created in order to hide it.
The long sought-after ring bolts is important because Fred used the ring bolts as one of his major reference lines, and it directed him to all kinds of things. That's what we're hoping for, the one puzzle piece that will fit and we'll go, wow, that's what that means.
Although Fred removed the ring bolts that he discovered, his son, Tom Nolan, has confided to Rick that he believes one or more may still exist in the area.
So let's start here. The radius that I've calculated is going to loop out.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll get out of your way. I'm going to go to the next location.
Okay.
Anything?
No.
Well, chop as you pull. There we go. Take a look at this.
This one here looks big enough to be an anchor rock.
Yeah.
What are you guys up to over there?
We have some pretty substantial boulders over here that would need to be checked.
Yeah, we'll check them with a CTX. This is what we should be looking for, a lot of boulders. Just seems like the rocks that should have a ring bolt in them.
Yeah, these two are really promising.
Oh, and there's a target here. It's iron, 8 or 9 inch reading.
Yeah, dig.
Yep, please.
Oh, there's something there, Gary. Do it slow. There, Gary, it should be out.
Oh, mate, I'll check it. Let's see.
Is it out?
Wow. I was not expecting that. You know what this is? It's definitely, in my opinion, part of an old cast iron stove or a cooking pot. I can see now, look, you see that flat piece? That was what you grabbed hold of, and this would have fit along the front of an old, kind of like a potbelly stove. This is an old piece of iron, mate.
When Fred moved stone just up the hill here from us, he found parts of an old cast iron stove under it.
He called it a ship stove.
I can see this off a ship, especially being here on the edge of the swamp. Really can.
A piece of a ship's stove? In 1981, while surveying his property, Fred Nolan discovered 6 large boulders that make up the megalithic formation now known as Nolan's Cross. Believing that the boulders might be covering buried treasure caches, Fred dug beneath several of them. Although he found no treasure, he did discover fragments of an iron stove that, based on further research, were believed to have come from a 17th century galleon ship. If Rick and the team can verify that this iron fragment also came from a large sailing vessel, it could be a valuable clue that might help identify who was behind the Oak Island mystery.
Nice, cool find. But just like any interesting piece of iron we find, we know the guy will tell us exactly how old it is and where it comes from. Calm and leg.
He'll certainly have an opinion.
Really cool, because we went looking for one part of the mystery, the ring bolts, and we might have found a fragment of another part of the mystery.
Makes you wonder what else is in here, right?
There could well be some more interesting artifacts in this area.
Okay, let's find it.
Hey, there he is.
Oh.
Jeremy, how are you?
I'm great. Good to see all you guys.
Marty Lagina, along with his son Alex and Craig Tester, are meeting with geoscientists Jeremy Church and Burton Cosgrove in the Research Center. Due to the delay of the garden shaft reconstruction, and also in light of the recent discoveries made on the western side of the island,
Jeremy, you guys brought some high-tech stuff that we're going to deploy on the island?
Yeah.
the Oak Island team has invited Jeremy and Burton to conduct a comprehensive geophysical scan of all of Oak Island's 32 4-acre lots.
So the unit is known as the EM31-8.
Okay.
It is a near production prototype, but it's based on an older technology. It's been around for a few decades now. It's just kind of a new riff on it. What it measures is conductivity, and it's going to collect that data down to a depth of 30 feet.
Cool.
So, you know, wherever you're going to have metallic objects on the island, obviously this thing's going to pick it up real nice. But you also could be picking up things like old foundations where the soil's been disturbed or there's large anomalies. These are all going to be clues to the activity of, you know, previous occupants of the island.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We were talking about what are we doing in the swamp. That's my first suggestion.
No, that's spot on, Alex. It's warm right now, but the bugs aren't out yet. Mm-hmm. That would be a really good place to start. And you could take it in a boat, no problem, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Another reason for starting with the swamp is a couple of years back, you guys had that ship-shaped anomaly in the swamp. And we tried to dig it. We didn't have a lot of success, but if this equipment can give us another look at that area just to confirm and hopefully get more meaningful information that way.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was during a seismic scanning operation conducted in 2018 by Jeremy and his colleagues from Eagle, Canada, that identified a massive anomaly resembling the size and shape of an ancient galleon ship in the middle of the swamp. Although the team has been unable to verify just what the feature is, since then, they've unearthed numerous pieces of believed sailing vessels dating from as late as the 17th century to as early as the 3rd century AD. Now it is the team's hope that Jeremy and Burton can identify new clues, not only on dry land, but also in the swamp, that might help them obtain new permits to drain it and confirm just what it may contain.
We're here to try to solve an incredible mystery. Is there a swamp component to solving that mystery? I believe there is, and I absolutely want to pursue it.
Yeah. If we can get data from you early on to incorporate in part of the permit, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So, we'll get you going.
Thanks, guys.
Seriously, guys, go get it.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Later that afternoon,
Jeremy,
Gentlemen.
hello. Good to see you.
Hello, Craig.
Good to see you.
Tony, see ya.
Nice to see you.
diver Tony Sampson has joined Craig, Alex, Jeremy Church, and Burton Cosgrove at the swamp as they prepare to begin conducting their survey using the EM31-8 scanning device.
So how's it gonna work?
Really, the key to all this is getting good lines. It's all about the grid that we do. We need really a tight grid so we don't miss any small anomalies. And that's part of the reason why Tony's going to be in the water rather than rowing.
Yeah, but to get the straightest, cleanest lines, you can't beat human power.
In order to scan the swamp, Tony will guide the boat in straight grid lines. The EM318 ground conductivity device measures the magnetic field emitted by metallic objects or structures that may be buried as much as 30 feet deep underground. Although the device can register immediate preliminary results, the data that it collects will require several weeks of post-processing in order to generate a three-dimensional map of potential man-made targets.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm gonna go and do some other things, but I'll check back in every once in a while. And
Okay.
thanks.
See you later, Craig.
Yep.
Okay, what do we need to do?
All right, well, let's get this on the boat.
The first thing we need to do in the swamp is to determine actual targets.
Yeah, we're good.
Non-destructive, non-invasive, and if we come up with a legitimate target or targets,
Okay, so you guys got it all set up?
I believe so.
then we will begin that process of applying for permits and try to come up with a plan.
Here we go.
Thank you, sir.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
How's that for a starting point, guys?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep, we're online. Still good?
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah, she's going
Big
off,
one?
like off through the roof.
Yeah. What level was that at?
It's all through them, so.
Really?
Yeah, it's basically sitting on top of the seismic anomaly, too. There'll be some metallic objects in there.
Wow.
Possible metal objects in the same location where Jeremy Church detected a 200-foot-long ship-shaped anomaly 4 years ago? Has the team potentially found more evidence that the swamp could contain the wreck of a centuries-old treasure galleon? And if so, could it be related to the Stone Road, as well as the other discoveries made around the island that may be Portuguese in origin?
Good to go, Tony.
Good to go.
Boom, something was happening right there, yeah. That one.
Another hit there.
Another hit there?
Yeah.
I have to admit that every time we've dug in the swamp, we found stuff that seems to be significant. We have all kinds of stuff from the swamp that's intriguing. We have the enigmatic stone road that anyone can tell is a man-made feature and doesn't make any sense to be in a swamp. We have bits of wood that have very peculiar dates on them from the swamp. So in order to finish this quest, we have to finish the swamp.